Still on Ekiti state election, we have a political analyst, Mayokun Ilo, joining us now in the studio to discuss the level of preparedness of the poll. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Mr. Ilo. What do you make of this? To reel out some of the figures of the security personnel sent to Ekiti for this election, just to mention a few, 30,000 policemen are going to be on ground, quite a number of army and 2 helicopters for the election, and even an armored vehicle, all for this election. What does that say about the election in terms of preparedness? Well,
I think the federal government is very ready. This is an off-term election. If this were to be 2019, one state will not be able to have 30,000 police officers for the election. But given that this particular election is off-term, I quite understand it. Ekiti state is a peculiar state.
Why is it peculiar?
Both for APC and PDP, at least the 2 major parties. It's a precursor to what will happen in 2019. For APC, they want to consolidate their grip on the southwest. For the PDP, is a kind of sustaining their power and making sure that if they get an inroad in Ekiti, then maybe we are seeing the end of the Buhari presidency. So for both gladiators, it's something to really fight for.
Well, doesn't it concern you? Because it has raised some concerns, even on the floor of the assembly, yes. Okay. Some senators raised concern that, look, if we sent 30,000
policemen,
personnel, security personnel to the Plateau region where these killings have been taking place, that perhaps they would have been, nipped in the bud. Doesn't it concern you?
It does, to some extent.
So why are we sending 30,000 personnel to just Ekiti election?
As an analyst, I will tell you this. To really understand what is happening in Ekiti in 2018, you have to take your mind back to 2014, when the tables were turned. And as an observer, if you've gone to Twitter and other social media platforms, you will be seeing people talking that the stakes have not been raised high enough. If Fayose was to be paid back in the coin with which Fayemi was paid in 2014, then all these theatrics that we are seeing is just a tip of the iceberg.
But did we have about 30,000 personnel there in
something close to that
in 2014?
Something close to that,
if that is the case,
not just them in a neutral position. They took active positions.
And if that is the case, are you in support of it that elections in Nigeria and the place where election holds in Nigeria should be armed to the teeth? What happens to the ordinary man out there? And like you heard the police just complain now that a crowd was dispersed and there were issue of some attacks even on the state governor as we speak. Should that be the ideal?
No, it's not. In saner climes, we wouldn't have this scenario. But I try to figure out what is APC trying to achieve. The likes of Senator Bola Tinubu made some moves when Goodluck Jonathan came into office to bring some sanity into our electoral process. It's yielding fruit. And the fruit in the terms of one man, one vote. APC is not known for rigging. But what they can do, given the kind of person His Excellency Governor Fayose is, they want to go the whole hog in preventing him from doing what he's known to do best. He says he's a grassroots politician. Maybe Saturday is the time to really find out if it's really about the grassroots or about some fraudulent activities being done during the elections.
All right. Well, concerns that are mounting, though, there are those who, some of the elders within Ekiti are saying, look, do you guys, you politicians, don't take us back to what happened in 1983, where you had the issue between Adekunle Ajasin and Omoboriowo, where the federal might was used to install Omoboriowo, and then eventually the courts overturned, that decision. Does it also concern you that what we are seeing at the moment, we are heading in that direction?
As an observer, I would say I'm not too pleased. But as a student of history, this is not the first time federal might is being deployed. The reason we have Ekiti as an off-term state in terms of their gubernatorial election is because of federal might. In 2007, there was this election between Segun Oni and this same Fayemi. because of federal might, Shegoni was not even the one who won the primary. It was imposed on PDP by the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo. He became the president. Fayemi went to court. After 3 years, Fayemi was declared the actual winner of that election. That's where Ekiti went off term. So whatever we are seeing now is a result of that.
May I also remind you that this issue of arming a place to defeat also happened during Edo State, where we had in fact, perhaps some other more sophisticated weapons and all that were deployed to Edo as well. And of course, Nigerians kicked
and
against it.
And Edo State also happens to be an off-term.
Okay, so fine. You're saying, if you're saying it is a one-off thing, it seems to be the trend right now. But let's leave that aside and look at some other issues in terms of voter apathy, in terms of voter education. Do you think the people are well sensitized enough to know what to do?
I was looking through the PVC data. About 940,000 PVC issued, 660,000 collected, 250 or thereabout thousand yet to be collected. So that's about 60, 70,000. The last election in Ekiti State, I think the total voter turnout was about 200,000. Actually, there were allegations of voter suppression, you know, occasioned by PDP might at the federal center, you know. But generally, I would think if we can have 300,000-400,000 people coming out, it's a plus for democracy.
All right, Mayokun Ilo, political analyst, we thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.